Okay, so I have ended up in a hostel that is basically, however, just a converted apartment. So, bathroom and four private rooms, plus a dormitory, where I seem to be alone for 16 bucks. That's not bad. Got a whole living area for me, for myself. And there are two guys that came in just as I was coming in. Uh, they helped me because I was just trying to connect to the Wi-Fi, which is the instructions in front of the door. But he already had the owner's number, and he talked to her and basically arranged everything for me. Well, everything for me. Opened the door and gave me a key, which the keys are locked in in a box in front of the door. And um, I was talking to him after they had a shower, and I was still getting my bags from downstairs. Next door, there's a garage that I paid €3 to park my bike. And I talked to Ismail. He's from here, he lives in Spain. And because he's from here, I took the opportunity to ask him um, where, where to buy the SIM card. I researched that I want Orange, but I was asking him where do I go, what shop, or, and he says, no, you probably buy it, as I suppose, from just street vendors, but if they see that you are a foreigner, they will scam you, of course. So he'll come with me, and as I understood, he would help me to buy the card. But no, he actually insists to buy me the card, the SIM card. Um, he can't be talked out of it. So, yeah, I don't know why. I don't know why people are so nice to me. Um, I mean, I'm nice to them, but after just a tiny little bit of time, if it was after some time spent together, we like each other, whatnot, but back in, I don't know, where was it? Somewhere in, Albacete, I think it was. I went to buy a kebab. No, it wasn't there. And anyway, some city. Went to buy a kebab, and there's this Pakistani guy that's running it, and I was alone there, so I was wondering, is he making enough money with the shop? And I want to pay him for the kebab, which was very cheap. It was the cheapest one that I had here for €3.50. And he was offering me a drink as well. At the beginning, I said I didn't want anything. I just drink water anyway. So, and when I finished, he says if I want to drink again, I politely declined, and he says no, you'll have it from me. I say no, thank you, you are very kind, and no, he eventually grabs a bottle of water and brings it to me, and he says that's for me, that's from him for me, no payment. And in fact, he wants to buy me the whole kebab. Basically, he doesn't want to charge me at all. So I'm trying to insist that I have to pay for the kebab because, I mean, why? And uh, after some insisting, he comes to the um, machine and punches in 3 euros and lets me pay 3 euros for a kebab that costs 3.50 and a bottle of water. I don't know why. Um, he was a very nice guy, but I wonder how he can survive doing this. I mean, I don't know. I don't think I was the only one ever that he did that for. Um, Interesting. It's interesting. Oh, and getting here was a nightmare because it's an apartment and it had no address basically. The address was the street name and the street is long. I went along it from one side, from one end to the other end. I couldn't see any sign for a hostel, and that was because there's no sign. And so I had. Are we coming? Are we going? Okay. Oops, I forgot that I had the camera with me. Well, things keep happening, nice things keep happening. So, I can't remember exactly what I finished talking when Ismail came out of his room and we went for to buy the SIM card. Apparently you can buy a SIM card almost from any vendor selling anything here, but we were sent to a shop that was selling computers and stuff, laptops mostly, and look at that. And how is this street? And the flowers, nice. And he, as he said, he paid for the card. He registered it under his name because apparently that way I'll get 2 euros worth of data. I was telling him I can register it under mine, but he said no, so it's registered under his. And he also bought first 2 gigabytes of data for me. Can't explain it. People are just so nice here. And then I'm not sure whether I was telling you about his girlfriend. He lives in Spain and his girlfriend lives here. He hasn't seen her for 2 years and he had a date with her, like a dinner, and his friend his friend is staying with him in the guest house, in the same guest house I'm staying in. And look at that too. It's 11 o'clock at night. Everything is living here. Well, some shops have started shutting down, but people are still very much alive. I think I'm gonna walk down there. And so we were looking for a ATM as well, so that I can get some money. And we couldn't find any. Well, actually, it turns out he was looking for an exchange bureau for me, where people exchange like real money for real money. I mean, paper money. And I was feeling already quite bad that I'm taking time from him, from spending with his girlfriend. And so we agreed that he would just give me the location, send me the location of the ATM or the location of the exchange bureau to my WhatsApp. He gave me his phone number and even before he did that, and he said, whenever, ever I need something, anything in Morocco, just give him a call and he will sort it out for me, he will help. Have I told you that people are so nice here? He's amazing, and he's not alone.
How are you?
He
Fine.
was good,
Yeah,
thank
I've seen
you.
before.
So, well, this guy that just interrupted me, he actually wanted me to buy him food and to his family. I'm not sure. Ismail told me if anyone asks, just say no here. So that's what I did. And so he interrupted by this man that wasn't so nice. He wanted me to buy him something. As I said, Ismail said to me that if anyone does that, just say no, no, no. So I did that. So then I was a bad man in his eyes, in that guy's eyes. Anyway, to continue the story, I probably just no, I won't. So he, Ismail told me to give him a call or message him and he would help. And then I walked to the location he sent me. I actually passed a few ATMs, but I first wanted to check out the place that he sent me. That was an actual exchange bureau with a person sitting there and probably expecting paper money. It doesn't make sense for me to exchange Australian dollars to euros and then euros to dirhams, and I didn't see that they would exchange Australian dollars, so I just went to the ATM and attempted to withdraw money. The first ATM was telling me something in French, which I translated, which just didn't say anything basically. Even though I selected English for communication, which it did communicate, but then the error message was just French. So then I tried the second one that wanted me to select which language, and on the screen, you know, at telemachines, you have the buttons next to the screen, next to the options that pop up on the screen. Well, this one didn't have any buttons, so I didn't figure out whether there was any other way how to select the choice, but probably just the software was for a wrong telemachine that didn't have that was supposed to have buttons, and that this one didn't. And then third one that was similar, except that had the buttons, but the English button didn't work. I tried the other ones and they did work, but English didn't. So anyway, fifth one gave me finally money for a fee of 35 dirhams, which is like 1.5 euros or almost 2 euros, 1.75. So I have some money now, and but before I actually got there, that was the interesting bit. Before I got there, I just went into a grocery store. Just wanted to see what the prices were like here, because I haven't researched it prior to arriving here, so I just wanted to get a measure of what the prices are, and there were no prices. So the man asked me what I wanted, and I explained what I was doing there, And he said what I wanted. So I said, for example, the milk. So he told me the price for the milk. I thanked him, and he said if I want help with anything, he would help me. I thanked him and was leaving, and he says, "Do you want the milk?" I'm telling him I still haven't withdrawn any money, so I don't have any money. He said, "I will just give it to you." So, I mean, see how people are here. He's a shop owner as well, and I don't have the money, so he will give me the milk. It's just something that you don't see. It was so heartwarming that I felt, well, it was overwhelming. It was really nice. And so, and this Ismail, when we were driving around in the car as well, he was asking people, just random people, random guys around, where we would find what we were looking for. And everyone smiles and tries to help, and because he's a stranger in the city as well, he's from the south, he said, and he said people just help strangers, you know, not just local strangers, but overseas as well. He said, don't worry, everyone will help you here. So so far I can also confirm that there are some beggars. Yes, we've just had an encounter with one, but so far I'm really happy with this culture that I'm experiencing here, and that is what traveling is about, for me anyway. I mean, the sights, beautiful. I love to look at beautiful things, nature and man-made, man-built. But after a while of traveling, I know that from experience, from past experience, the sides kind of start blending together, and it's more of the almost the same, even though, you know, the churches each might have slightly different architecture and whatnot. But if you travel in a certain area for long enough, it will start being the same, because yeah, if you are doing it a lot every day, it just does. But people are amazing. People are all different, and you have different experiences with them, and it's really the thing that I'm doing the traveling for. And the nature is maybe very similar in certain respects as well, but still always amazing. So that's today. That's my first experiences from Africa. I forgot about one person. The first person that helped me here was a shop owner, one of those little shops with food mostly, everything that are here, thousands of. Um, when I couldn't find this hostel, um, I went to a pharmacy because I recall I read somewhere in a guide for Morocco that you know, if you want to get help and you only speak English, then your surest bet is to go to pharmacy, because pharmacists usually speak English as well. So I went there, and there were two women. Um, One of them said she spoke English. She said little, but she was fine. Um, but when I asked her if she could call the number um, that I had from the booking.com and in the email to call, then um, she didn't want to. I don't know, must be something cultural. I didn't get that the first time. She was sending me to the man next door, which was this man that ended up helping me. But of course, that was a normal shop owner, so didn't know whether he was going to speak English. So I tried to ask that pharmacist again, but she started to be um, a bit upset, I think. Um, so I left it there and tried that man, and he spoke English. Um, and he called the number for me and lent me his phone with the owner of this guest house there, also speaking English, trying to explain to me where I can find it. It really is not easy, um, but I'm here as you can see. And that other man, he spent quite a bit of time. He first couldn't get through, so he was trying maybe 10 times. And then I spoke on the phone for quite a while, and then he spoke to her as well, or she spoke to him, and then he explained to me as well what she basically explained to me. Only he counted streets, how many I have to pass of the crossing streets before I get to the place. And so I at least wanted to buy something from him. I asked him whether he took credit cards because I had no dirhams yet. And he said, no, it's fine. And, I really wanted at least ice cream. I actually felt like ice cream anyway. And he said, no, he was glad to help me, and it was all fine. And, you know, so I thanked him and drove off. So that was the first man who helped me, and he was very nice too.